What's the most messed up prank someone pulled on you? I walked into my apartment after a 14-hour shift at the hospital to find everything I owned missing and a note taped to the wall that just said evicted. But I hadn't missed any rent payments. I'm a nurse, and I had just finished the worst shift of my life. 2 patients coding back to back, a 5-car pileup in the ER, and I hadn't eaten since breakfast. My scrubs were stained with blood and other things I didn't want to think about. All I wanted was a hot shower in my bed. But when I unlocked my door, the lights wouldn't turn on. I flipped the switch again, thinking the bulb was out. Then I realized I couldn't see my couch or TV where they should be. I fumbled for my phone flashlight and swept it across the room. Empty, completely empty. No furniture, no pictures on the walls, no dishes in the sink. Even the curtains were gone. The place echoed like I'd never lived there at all. My heart started racing. Had I been robbed? Was I in the wrong apartment? But my key had worked. I checked the unit number, 306, definitely mine. That's when I saw it. A piece of paper stuck to the wall with blue tape. One word in big black letters, evicted. I sank to the floor, still in my dirty scrubs, and called my landlord with shaking hands. No answer. I called again and again. Nothing. My mind was racing. I'd set up auto pay for rent. I checked my bank account. All payments had gone through. I'd lived there for 3 years without a single problem. I called my brother Mark, who lived 30 minutes away. He heard the panic in my voice and said he was coming right over. While waiting, I went door to door, asking neighbors if they'd seen anything. Most weren't home. One elderly man said he'd seen a moving truck earlier, but assumed someone was just moving in or out. When Mark arrived, we checked the building's security cameras together, but they had been turned off for maintenance that day, according to the building manager, who also seemed confused about my situation. I was about to call the police when my phone rang, a number I didn't recognize. I answered, desperate for any information. "Hey, it's me," said a familiar voice. "Can you open the door? I got pizza." My co-worker, Jake. We had worked the same nightmare shift together. "Jake, I'm not home. Everything I own is gone. Someone emptied my apartment and left an eviction notice." There was a pause, then laughter. "I know," he said. "Look out your window." I walked to the bare window and looked down at the parking lot. There was Jake, standing next to a moving truck with my couch sitting in the open back. "Surprise!" he shouted up at me. "It's a prank for your TikTok channel." In that moment, I remembered telling Jake about my small prank channel where I posted silly jokes on my roommates. Nothing mean, just hiding rubber spiders in their cereal or replacing Oreo filling with toothpaste. Harmless stuff that made people laugh. Jake thought this would be the ultimate escalation. He had convinced the building manager to give him access, saying it was a surprise I'd love. He got some friends to help move everything into storage units he'd rented for one day. I made him bring back every single item that night. It took until 4 a.m. I had to call in sick the next day because I hadn't slept at all. 2 weeks later, I invited Jake over for dinner to make peace. When he arrived, I handed him a drink and we sat on my couch, the same couch he'd put in a moving truck. "I'm glad you're not mad anymore," he said, sipping his drink. I smiled. "Check your phone." He pulled it out, confused. I had texted him a link to my TikTok. It was a video of his car, completely filled with packing peanuts, every inch. I'd hidden a camera in his back seat to catch his reaction. "Your car's in the parking lot," I said, holding up his spare keys he'd once asked me to hold for emergencies. "And it's supposed to rain tonight." The best part? I hadn't actually done it. His car was fine, but the look on his face was worth everything he put me through.